So start with and just cleaning the wheel head. Use a damp sponge and then I use my thumb as a squeegee just to take off any residual water on there. Make sure it's clean, not too wet, not too dusty. Then dry clay against a dry wheel head. Bash it on into the middle. Make sure it's roughly in shape. Plenty of water on there. This is centering, this is the first stage. And essentially what you're trying to do is get the clay into the middle of the wheel. And it's not necessarily a wrestling process, it's more of an action. So we're squeezing in to bring the clay up, and then I'm pushing the clay back down. And repeating that process until the clay feels centered. So I'm using the heel of my left hand as a sort of anchor point to press in against the clay, and a hook of my right hand to pull back into that anchor and squeeze them together, and the clay has nowhere to go other than up. Then from the middle of my right palm on the top right hand corner down into the heel of my left hand, bend that clay over and push it down. Clean off any residue on the wheel head, keep that clean, and repeat the process until the clay feels centered. As we get closer to centre, you just do the action less and less until you're just sort of pushing in and then down with your thumbs, the heel of your thumbs. Got some hand shapes to throw at you. This is pint glass, so imagine you're holding a pint in your left hand. Karate chop. Going to use the side of the right hand to flatten off the top there. So that's a nice even surface to start with. Reuse some of the slurry. Use the pint glass hand, use a thumb as a bridge. This is Cub Scouts, Scouts Honour. Send the scouts over the bridge to find the middle. And what you're looking for is to feel a little nipple running between your index and middle finger. Using the pads of the fingertips rather than the tips, use the flat side. Push the clay down into the base. Given it's a cylinder that we're making, we're going to pull straight out back towards us, so it's coming out as one like this. Flat interior. Use a sponge. Compress the clay in the base and make it nice and flat and straight. Now I'm going to bring the whole thing back in slightly like this. It's called collaring, and what that does is it puts the weight of the wall sort of above the base like that. Get a nice square interior. Start lifting the wall. This is crab claw. Holds on the clock face at about 4 or 5 o'clock. Trigger finger. So make a gun. Pull the trigger. Turn it once to the left and once to the front. Bring the two together. And we're squeezing with this knuckle against this finger on the inside, and the angle is inwards like this. to get the weight out of the base. I'm going to use my middle finger, undercut the base there, make a bit of a shelf. Then I'm going to turn that finger vertically and squeeze that excess clay into the wall, and slowly follow that up the side of the pot. That's where we get all the excess height from the hidden weight in the base. It'll naturally want to flare out because of the force of the wheel, but we'll try and keep that contained by collaring. So the hand position is like this. I think strangle hands, so if you think shirt collar, you're going to wring someone's neck, that's your hand position for this. Start at the bottom, keep the wheel at a medium speed, and work up towards the top. It's better to do a little bit at a time than try to do too much all at once. Use a wooden rib. Run your finger up the inside of that, keeping the rib still, and then taking the rib with you when you get to the top of it. Take out the excess water from the base. And that would be a basic cylinder. And the cylinder is the starting form of any sort of upright form. So if we wanted to make a bottle, for example, we could collar in a neck. Continue to collar that. Collar, and so on. If we wanted to make a jug, you might want to open that back out. Collar a straight neck. Open up the belly, bring the belly up into a shoulder, turn the shoulder over into a neck, and bring the neck up to a lip. The rib to tidy up the shape on the outside. On the inside. Stop the wheel. Start to put a lip on there, handle on the back to make a jug. Or if jugs don't float your boat, you can get rid of that. Back in, and maybe turn over a lip for a vase. Watching that shoulder doesn't become too steep. Sponge out the inside. Trim some of the excess away from the base. cut. Wire that off. What I'll do is wire it through. So you can see the profile. What we're looking at is a thickness in the base and at the bottom, getting gradually thinner towards the top. So if you spread it a lot, it's going to get thinner, so you need to leave a thickness for opening it, otherwise it should be consistently like this. Number one.